Hey guys, we're here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the all-new 2023 Kia Sorento EX Turbo.
And huge thanks to Malik at Regal Kia in Lakeland, Florida for making this review possible. These guys have an impressive dealership. I'll leave a link to their inventory below. And if you're looking for a new car or SUV in the Tampa Lakeland area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Malik.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the Sorento actually started off as Kia's compact SUV back in 2002. That's when the first generation was released, lasting until 2009 before being switched to a mid-size platform, which it has stuck to for the last 3 generations. The 4th generation being released in 2021. For 2023, all models now come standard with blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert. The S trim now gets a wireless charging pad. The EX gets an 8-way power passenger seat and frameless rear view mirror. And you get a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster, rain sensing wipers, and power folding mirrors on the top SX trim. You can no longer get the hybrid on the base S trim anymore, but Kia has added a fully loaded SXP trim with standard all-wheel drive, leather seats, and captain's chairs. The hybrid EX gets the same updates as the gas EX with the 8-way power passenger seat and the frameless rear view mirror. The PHEV is SX Prestige only, but it includes rear sunshade, a 115-volt AC adapter, and 32 miles of range. There are 4 different engine options for the 2023 Sorento, starting with the base 2.54 cylinder, cranking out 191 horsepower and 181 pound-feet of torque. You can upgrade to the 2.5 turbo that you see here, which cranks out a really healthy 281 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque, made it to an 8-speed DCT. There's a 1.6 liter hybrid and a plug-in hybrid. The regular conventional hybrid cranks out 227 horsepower and about 258 pound-feet of torque. The plug-in hybrid makes a little bit more power at 261. There are 11 different trim levels for the 2023 Sorento, starting with the base LX, with a base price under $30,000 at $29,990, all the way up to the SX Prestige plug-in hybrid, which starts a tick under $50,000. But here we have the EX trim, the base price around $35,000, $36,000. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So up front, you notice your full LED headlights, LEDs for the high and low beam, LED daytime running strip 2, updated Kia badge, all new for 2022, solid airflow 2 for the intercooler and radiator, the radiator on the left side, intercooler on the right, panel housing your advanced safety features, and we get LED fog lights for the EX trim on the Sorento. Really liking this front end styling. I do prefer this a little bit over the new Santa Fe. The wheel and tire setup, not the most special. It is a black and silver contrasted 18-inch trim wrapped in pretty solid Continental cross contact all season tires. I just kind of wish the spokes on these rims were a little bit thinner, maybe helping us with some unsprung mass too. The dimensions on these 18-inch rims for the tires are 235/60 R18. The 60 series sidewall should help the ride quality tremendously. We don't get front parking sensing or side sensing, no 360 of course either, not in the EX trim. It is available for the top SX. Black accents for the wheel wells, black accents for the side skirt and rocker panel area, blacked out window trim, B-pillar, C-pillar, and roof rails. Definitely appreciating the black accents, blacked out mirrors, LED turn signal in the center too. Black button for the smart access. We get smart access for the driver and the front passenger. Blind spot monitoring is now standard across all Sorentos in the lineup. Window sticker, we have pretty dark tints back here, but hopefully you can still pick up the sticker on this 2023 Sorento EX front wheel drive with the sapphire blue metallic. That's one of the only options on this car. It's $445, $210 for the carpeted floor mats. You can pause, take a look at all the standard features mechanically up top. The standard safety features are loaded. We have forward collision avoidance assist, blind spot collision avoidance assist, rear cross traffic collision avoidance assist, lane keeping assist, lane following assist, ton of assists, and we get rear parking sensors too. You can pause, take a look at all the rest of the features. Best warranty in the business. The EX on top of the S gets a 2.5 liter turbo, cranking out a ton of power, 8-speed dual clutch, electronic parking brake with auto hold, power liftgate, LED fog lights, power adjustable passenger seat, second row captain's chairs, forward collision avoidance assist with cyclist junction, and navigation smart cruise control with stop and go. We get highway driving assist too. About $650 in total options and a $1,300 destination charge totals us out a tick under $38,000. Absurd value for what we get. It's a 3-row SUV, guys, don't forget. 25 combined MPGs, 22 city, and 29 on the highway. The gas cap is push to open. We don't get easy fill. You could throw 87 octane fuel into this motor, but I'd recommend throwing premium fuel for this turbocharged engine. Same rear wheel and tire setup. We get black trim over the rear wheel area. It carries out all the way for the lower bumper area too. The rear taillights are full LED. Shout out Regal Kia in Lakeland, Florida for helping make this review possible. Updated Kia badge, LED, third brake light, and the wiper is hidden underneath that spoiler. Huge thumbs up to Kia, one of the first in the business to get that done. The Sorento badge has cool lettering. It's different compared to the previous generation, but other than that, not a whole lot going on. We got the reverse lights in both of the corners of the bumper. Rear parking sensing. We take a squat back here, get a good look at the exhaust tip, suspension. But speaking of the exhaust tip, let's fire up this 2.5 liter turbo, and here she sounds. Alright guys, that was the sound of the 2.5 liter turbo sold by Kia for the 2023 Sorento EX. It doesn't sound very aggressive, but it makes a ton of power at 181 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque, made it to an 8-speed DCT. You can expect this 3-row SUV to get to 60 between 5.5 to 6 seconds. Maybe tough to get under 6 seconds with just front-wheel drive, but with all-wheel drive, this thing is a beast. And with front-wheel drive, base price a tick over 35,000 bucks. The bang for the buck is just absurd when it comes to performance. Aluminum stick connecting your strut towers too. No hydraulic struts, got to use a prop rod. I'm using my arm for the prop rod right now. We can shut this thing right up. It's pretty heavy for the hood. We'll take one more step back, get one last look at the front styling. It's nice, not too much has changed. Well, nothing's changed as far as exterior styling. The interior, there are a couple updates. We'll check them out right now. Again, the black accents in this car are nice. Smart access for the driver and the front passenger. Taking a step inside, soft touch materials up top with some wood trim surrounding the aluminum door handle. Aluminum splitting these two padded areas together. Yes, this middle portion is padded, super padded for the stitched armrest. Auto one touch for the driver, power windows for all the passengers, of course. Four-way adjustable mirrors. The sound system, it leaves something to be desired. It's not the best sound system, but it is a base. If you want the upgraded sound system, go for the higher trims. Solid storage too. I'd expect you to fit a 20-ounce water bottle and foot long with no issues. As we step inside, Sorento nameplate, but it's not aluminum or illuminated or anything, but it's still there, which is pretty cool. The seats are Syntex, perforated and heated seats. Solid bolstering, solid feel overall. They don't smell too much like leather, but they feel very close to leather, so can't complain, especially for the price point. Lumbar control, you can recline, drop, lift, and slide the seats. Power seats for the driver and the front passenger. Taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So foot on the brake, fire everything right to life. Aluminum start stop button. Boom. First thing we notice is the steering wheel. It's very thick, solid 10-2 bolstering notch. 9-3 feels great in your hand. Two spokes down below, almost the center spoke with some piano black surrounding it. The horn area is rubberized. The horn itself, pretty aggressive, not the most aggressive, but people should still hear it and get out of your way. On the left side of the steering wheel, voice commands, AM, FM, and Sirius, volume and skip controls. You can hang up and answer your phone calls all on the left side. On the right side, this adjusts your infotainment cluster, cruise control, radar cruise control, and lane keep assist, all standard features on a 2023 Sorento EX. The stocks, super satisfying click. We have auto headlamps and fog lights. On the right side, no rain sensing wipers, but wouldn't really be expected for a vehicle in this price point. The SX gets rain sensing wipers. As far as this infotainment cluster adjustments, right now we're looking at a digital speedo. You can check out your tire pressure too. Fuel economy, trip A, trip B, drive info, and drive mode. We have comfort, sport. We'll check out all the drive modes at some point in this review, especially when we take this car out on a drive. We have a compass, and turn by turn, if the GPS is hooked up, we do get GPS on the EX trim, attention level, and right back where we started. I'll leave it here for the digital speedo, probably my personal favorite to look at all times. About 6,500 RPM for the tach. I don't think it shifts that high. I think it'll shift closer to about 55 to 6,000 RPM, but it's still nice to have a high revving tach. 160 miles per hour for the speedometer. Down below, coolant temperature and fuel level right next to it. Some black, piano black surrounding both of these screens. We don't get the digital display gauge cluster for the EX trim, but the SX does get the 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster and a 10.25-inch touchscreen, basically carried over from last year. Great response for the touchscreen itself. The map, we'll let it load up. Also pretty high resolution. We'll hide this side screen. The response for the map, it's okay for the zoom function, but outside the zoom function, just to move around. very responsive, just like in iPhones. Just the zoom could be a little bit more responsive, but very nitpicky complaints. You can see everything that's available in your screen, all the adjustments, Kia Connect notification, and the user manual. My personal favorite to look at all times would be the map, so we'll leave it here. Shortcuts right outside of it if you want to go through the touchscreen. Dual air vents on both sides of the center stack, that's pretty cool. We have dual zone automatic climate control too. Down below, 3 USB-A ports, no USB-C ports, which is kind of odd. A lot of these manufacturers nowadays are going towards the USB-C route. Here, Kia just gives you 3 USB ports, USB-A ports. Wireless charging too, solid storage right next to it, heated front seats, and I like how these bottom air vents can only be directed down. So kind of helps circulate the air a little bit better in this interior. The cover for this stack is just some hard plastic. It's matte black though, not gloss piano black, so it will not leave fingerprints after you keep pressing and touching to hide it away and open it up. The gear selector controls the 8-speed DCT backup camera. If you take a quick look, pretty good resolution. It's not like amazing, but it's very solid resolution, guidance lines and trajectory, rear parking sensing. You can see the rear parking sensors right next to your backup camera. Cool. Camera modes, we can see if we have different ones. Over the top, little trailer hitch view. This Sorento doesn't get the trailer hitch. I'll leave a link right here to show you what this Sorento will be rated to tow if it did have a trailer hitch. The manual shift controls are on the gear selector. We don't get paddle shifters, unfortunately, on this EX trim. With the turbo, it would be nice to get paddle shifters, but the manual shifts are still nice with the gear selector itself. You can only start off in first gear, actually. You can't start off in second, which is interesting, but I'm sure it still lets you shift the gears. We'll check that out once you take it out for a drive. But once you throw it into park, it returns us to the home screen. It stays in the backup camera even after we put it into drive. I believe you got to be going like 4 or 5 miles an hour, and then it automatically changes. The cup holders are dumbbell style shaped. I've never seen a cup this shape before, but it looks pretty cool. Decent storage, good spot for a key. Right behind it, I'll let you guys see this Kia key too. We have auto engine start stop, lock and unlock. Pretty fancy looking key. It doesn't weigh a whole lot. It doesn't take up a whole space, pretty thin. Thumbs up. Behind that, solid storage, throw some coins, business cards in there. Gushy soft for the Syntex armrest. The glove box space, massive. You're gonna stack up 3 or 4 iPhone Pro Maxes in this cubby. Ton of coins, ton of business cards. This is honestly more spacious than my center console, my Camaro, just this tray alone. In here, you'll fit a 6-pack of single-liter bottles of soda in here with no problem. Very spacious center console. You can put this thing right back, shut it up. The glove box, you can pull this latch, it is damped. 9-line with felt, it's pretty large. I expect you to fit 25 license plates with no problem. Above that, soft touch, wood trim above that. The entire dashboard is also soft touch material. Nice, high quality feeling and looking interior. You see that wood trim carrying all throughout. To the left of the steering wheel, we have our interior brightness and our lane keep assist. So this is our lane keep assist. This is our steering assist. The steering assist, of course, is on the steering wheel. The lane keep assist is to the left of the steering wheel. You turn up your traction control and open up the tailgate. Hood latch release, hopefully you can get a good look at your pedals. They're not aluminum outlined. They are for the higher trims, but again, not a big deal. It's a sub $36,000 base price. Tilt and telescoping steering wheel. That's about it though for this interior. We have a frameless rear view mirror, which is auto dimming. Also new for the EX trim. Nice, the interior lights, LED. No moonroof. It is available, we just don't get it here. But again, that's about it for the front seat of the 2023 Sorento EX. Let's hop out back, see how much space is offered back there, as well as the overall quality of the material. So up top, hard plastic, but it has a good graining material too, with the aluminum trim continues, aluminum door handle, and the wood trim outside of it. In the middle, hard plastic. The armrest is the same soft armrest as up front. Power windows, nice grab handle. Not the most storage, but you'll fit a 24-ounce water bottle in there with no problem. The seats, captain's chairs, Syntex perforated seats. We get a third row, which we'll check out in a minute. The second row, cup holder on the door panel too. If I didn't mention, the seat is slid just about all the way forward to help the third row passenger right now. We don't really care about that because there's no one back there. As you see, once we slide the seat back, ton of second row space. I have at least 7-8 inches for my knees. Mat pocket with a cargo net, so dual mat pockets behind both of the front seats. No third zone climate, but not a big deal. We have air vents back here in a mid-trim sub $36,000 3-row SUV. Additional USB-A port underneath the air vents with a 12-volt right next to it. 2 USB-A ports attached to the seat. No center console area, of course, just captain's chairs. You can lift up these armrest areas, which are pretty wide. They accommodate my arm with no problem. Headroom, I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall. I have at least an inch, possibly 2 inches for my head. The interior light, also LED back here. We get a hook, good for a suit or a dress. That's better for the back seat. Let's hop out of here, check out the third row. check out the cargo space, and then take this car out for a drive. So everything shoots forward. We can take a step in here. Not the toughest process, not quite as easy as a Telluride or a Palisade, but also not as difficult as I was expecting. I was not expecting this much legroom. Yes, the seat is not all the way back, but it's plenty back. For me to have this much legroom in the third row, they can pull this seat back another 2-3 inches, and I'll still have plenty of space. Additional 2 USB-A ports in the back seat, so I've counted at least 7 or 8 USB-A ports, not 1 USB-C port, and for 2023, that was not what I was expecting. But I got at least 4 or 5 inches for my knees and at least an inch for my head, so if you're under 6'2", 6'3", you can use the third row of a Kia Sorento, and for a mid-size SUV that sits below the Telluride, I really wasn't expecting to say that. Huge thumbs up for the 2023 Sorento. We can hop out of here, press the button, it shoots forward. Solid process getting out. It's not the easiest, it's not as easy as a full-size SUV, but compared to some of the other mid-size SUVs we reviewed on this channel, really easy third row process. Underneath the license plate is the button for the power opening tailgate, and as soon as it opens up, we'll check out the cargo space. So not the most with the third rows up. If you need a little bit more, we have some secret storage below, and I recommend taking this whole tray off, find a different spot for the jack and the tire iron, and you'll have a couple extra cubic feet of overall space, even with the third rows up. But if you don't plan on having the third rows up all the time, of course you can just simply fold them down, and we'll check out and see how much space is offered back here with the third rows down. Very solid, competitive with the mid-size SUV segment. You fold the second row seats down, I'd expect you to fit up to a 75, maybe an 80-inch seat back here. Not the lowest floor. I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall, and I got like 5-6 inches of height until my knee would be at the same level as a step-in. So for older or smaller pets, it may not be the easiest process getting back here, but once they're back here, it's a very spacious cargo space, even for pets. The wheel well cutouts allow for a golf bag to probably fit horizontally. It'll definitely fit diagonally, but again, what you see is basically what we get. You can shut this thing right up, press the button up top. It gives you a couple seconds, so you don't have to worry about getting duped in the head if you have a bunch of grocery bags in your hands. But that's about it for the inside and outside of the 2023 Kia Sorento EX Turbo. It's a nice, really nice SUV, under 40,000 bucks, under $38,000. I think this might be one of the best value 3-row SUVs on the road today. As far as performance, let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the 2023 Kia Sorento EX Turbo. Let's take it out for a drive. And starting off in normal mode, we'll take a step out into this multiple lane highway as soon as we get the chance. As soon as this Ford Escape passes, we'll have the chance, and about half throttle. Very big delay. There we go. Ooh. Okay, yeah, so there's a half-second delay. But as soon as the transmission downshifts, this thing took off. It actually chirped the tires. Traction control kicked in for a second. And at highway speeds, though, it's very quiet in here. Steering feels very light, but it's responsive as soon as you start to move the wheel. It changes directions. Can't complain. All right, guys, railroad tracks. Good ride quality. Those 60 series sidewall tires definitely help. Looks like once the Silverado gets out of the way, we'll use these twisties. Good torque. Oh, nice. Body roll is very limited. You just don't really feel anything through the wheel. Okay. All right, guys, let's throw it into sport real quick. Okay, engine start stop will turn off. We're not gonna launch it or anything, and we're not gonna floor it because it'll just roast the tires, but we'll try to get a good launch. About third throttle. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, this thing's a monster, but it's just really tough putting all this power down with just a front wheel drive. All right, guys, taking a step out here, we'll try out these manual shift modes. Controls, second gear, half throttle. Woo! Super quick shifts though, but as you see, even with half throttle, the power does just not want to be put down. A lot of power, 311 pound-feet of torque. That's a lot for just front-wheel drive, especially for a front-wheel drive that doesn't have a limited slip. Rev match downshifts. Cool. About half throttle. I see. Okay, so like third throttle is all you can really do without getting wheel spin. Obviously, once you're moving about like 45, 50, then you can use a lot more of the power. But at city speeds, you just can't use it all.
Notice a set of train tracks at higher speed. Great ride quality. You don't feel a whole lot. You hear a little bit. The isolation when it comes to road noise isn't the best. The wind noise isolation also isn't the best. Like, I'm being very nitpicky here because it's still a very quiet car. It's just not as quiet as some cars with dual pane windows. Very quiet isolation from the road, just not as quiet as like true luxury cars. But for the price point, the performance and luxury per dollar is fantastic here. All right, guys, on the highway, on the gas. Woo! Yeah, we don't have to push it a whole lot farther than that. Yeah, once you're already moving, the rolling accelerations in this thing are impressive. We'll slow down a little bit. Third gear, on the gas. And we do shift after 6,000. Wow, you look down, you're going a lot faster than you think you are. We're not gonna push it a whole lot farther than that. We'll turn around as soon as we get the chance. We'll try an acceleration off the line here, but you guys already know it's not gonna be very easy to put the power down. All right, off the line. Ooh, that was like a quarter throttle. It spins even in like a quarter throttle. That's funny. All right, we'll try out a real world turning radius and an acceleration, but we'll start off in second gear because there's just about 0 point in trying it out in first. Wow, the turning radius is sharp. Second gear, on the gas. Oh, okay. And another acceleration off the line. Okay, roll into it. Second gear, on the gas. Whew. Traction control kicks in at the top of second gear. Wow. I mean, it makes a ton of power. Don't get me wrong. Eighth gear, cruising around 55. We're only turning around 1,300 RPM. We'll lean into it. Not a whole lot of power. But once the boost kicks in, it can accelerate even in eighth gear. It doesn't take that much gas pedal to keep this thing rolling. We'll try some downshifts. Come on. There we go. It sounds okay. The sound isn't what you buy this thing for. You buy it for the power. But if you're buying it for the power, I would recommend paying it a couple $1,000 extra and go with the all-wheel drive. Trust me, you won't regret it. Even if you live in Florida, you don't experience snowy weather very frequently. I'm telling you, the all-wheel drive, it's appreciated even in dry weather, because in dry weather, this thing makes a lot of power. Kind of like that Hellcat over there, it's making all that noise. All right, guys, we'll try a third gear pull. First, second, third, on the gas. Yeah, that's the gear. Third gear is the gear. You can pull hard. Traction control does not cut out on you. You just end up going a little faster than you expect if you do a full third gear pull, but it rips. Third gear. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Powerhouse. Absolute powerhouse. We can take it out of sport, throw it into regular drive. We've had more than enough fun in this 2023 Sorento. In sport, the steering felt good, well weighted, and on center. In comfort mode, it's still on center, but it feels very, very light. In comfort mode, the throttle doesn't feel as sensitive. The transmission is not as eager to downshift you. That's definitely not a Hellcat. I'm sorry, guys. Might not even be a Scat, but it definitely has a really nice sounding exhaust. But overall, this 2023 Kia Sorento EX, this is the best value on the road today for the money. Yes, I would recommend going with all-wheel drive. It'll cost a little bit closer to $40,000, but it will be worth it. But still, for a sub $36,000 base price, this is the best performance three-row SUV on the road today. It reminds me a lot of the K5 GT. I mean, mechanically, it basically is a K5 GT, just a little bit more top-heavy, a little bit more daily driving oriented. The K5 GT's got the quad exhaust, it's got the sport tuned suspension, skinnier profile tires. So you're not sure if you want a performance sedan or a well-performing SUV, because let's be honest, everybody nowadays is looking for SUVs. They're more practical. You sit higher up, you can see over the car in front of you on the highway. Like right now, I can see what's going on in front of this Buick Enclave, which in cars like my Camaro LT1, the Kia K5 GT, you simply just can't see above. So in that perspective, the base price is a few $1,000s more, but the practicality offsets that. Plus the markups. The markups in the K5 GT will be a little bit higher than what they'll be on the Sorento, simply because they're just simply harder to sell and they don't get as many for allocation. So at the end of the day, after markups, this may be just as expensive as a K5 GT. Overall, guys, you're looking for a spacious, high-performance SUV. This is the best you're gonna get for the money. Would I recommend going with all-wheel drive? Of course, but that will increase the base price closer to around $40,000. But even at $40,000, with all-wheel drive, this 2.5 turbo, this interior, the tech, the touchscreens, it's the best for the money. Without the all-wheel drive, sub $36,000 for the base price, also the best you can get for the money. However, it's not as best that this platform can be. This platform will be so much better with all-wheel drive. Like, you can't use first and second gear anything more than like a third throttle. Third gear, yeah, you can romp on it, but with all-wheel drive, you can romp on it in first gear. I could have probably made that, but better safe than sorry. Again, you're looking for a literally high-performance SUV with tech, with features, with 3 rows. You don't want cloth seats. Definitely check out the 2023 Kia Sorento EX. You get a lot for the money. And a big thanks to Malik at Regal Kia in Lakeland, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car or SUV in the Lakeland, Tampa, Orlando area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out, and that's from Malik. And huge thanks to all of you for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. Really helps me out the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.